This tutorial will show you how to loom knit this adorable spiral hat. I'll show you step by step how to achieve this swirling look. It's easier than it seems. Thank you for watching Ms. Yarn. Please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of my easy to follow loom knitting videos. Today we're going to cover number 1, how to mark your loom, number 2, how to cast on, number 3, how to do the rib stitch brim, number 4, how to do the spiral body, number 5, how to do the crown decrease, number 6, how to bind off, and finally number 7, how to tighten your cast on. For the supplies you'll need a 41 peg round loom. Mine has a gauge of 13/16 of an inch. You'll need 1 ball of wool ease thick and quick with a number 6 weight. You'll need a hook, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle, and you may want to use something to mark your loom when we're doing the rib stitch brim. Let's start by marking our loom. My peg 1 is on the left of my anchor peg, so I don't need to add an elastic or stitch marker. If you want, you can distinguish between knit pegs and purl pegs to help you do the ribbed brim. I've used a few purple elastics to mark where I need to purl. I didn't go all the way around though, since the elastics get in the way of my E-wrap knit stitches. Do note that I'm going to knit peg 41 when it comes to the ribbed brim, rather than purl it. Let's make a slip knot and tie it to the anchor peg. Then we'll E-wrap peg 1 and we'll continue E-wrapping all of the other pegs on the loom. Now this cast on is going to be the E-wrap cast on, which means that we'll do 1 round of E-wraps followed by a second round of E-wraps. Here I'm E-wrapping peg 40 and then peg 41. Now it's time for the second part of the cast on. So let's wrap peg 1 and then we'll knit over the bottom loop. We'll do the same on peg 2 and on all of the other pegs. So keep doing these E-wrap knit stitches and let's meet once you've gone all the way around the loom. So I've gone ahead and I'm almost finished the cast on. I'm working peg 40 and then peg 41. And now our cast on is done. Now it's time for the 1x1 rib stitch brim. We will follow a knit 1 purl 1 sequence. So let's do an E-wrap knit stitch on peg 1 and we will purl on peg 2. Lay the working yarn below the loop, dive into that loop with your hook, grab that working yarn and pull it upwards to make a new loop. Now take the old loop off of the peg and put the new loop on the peg and tighten things up. Let's E-wrap knit on peg 3. We'll purl on peg 4. That purple elastic reminds me where to purl. E-wrap knit on peg 5. Purl on peg 6. And let's undo that slip knot that we had put on the anchor peg. So on your own, you can continue the knit 1 purl 1 sequence, and you'll be doing this for 5 rounds. For my pattern, on peg 41, I chose to knit that peg each time. So let's meet again when you have finished round 5. At this point, you've completed the rib stitch brim. Now it's time for the spiral body. Round 6 is pretty straightforward. You're going to do E-wrap knit stitches all the way around the loom. Go ahead and knit round 6, and we'll meet when you're ready for round 7. Round 7 is where we start the 6-stitch repeat. This repeat is going to give us the spirals. On pegs 1 to 4, we do an E-wrap knit stitch. On pegs 5 and 6, we do a left twist. Let's do 4 E-wrap knit stitches in a row. We'll knit on peg 1, knit on peg 2, knit on peg 3, and knit on peg 4. Now it's time for the left twist. Take the loop off peg 6, hold it in the back, and untwist it. Take the loop off peg 5, untwist it, and put it on peg 6. Take the loop you've been reserving in the back and put it on peg 5. Now those 2 loops have just switched places. Now E-wrap knit pegs 5 and 6. And now our 6-stitch repeat is done. Now let's go to the next set of 6 pegs. I'll still call them pegs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to E-wrap knit on pegs 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll do a left twist on pegs 5 and 6. Take off the loop from peg 6, untwist it, hold it in the back. Take the loop off peg 5, untwist it, put it on peg 6. Put the loop you've got in the back on peg 5. E-wrap knit on pegs 5 and 6. Now you've done that 6-stitch repeat again. Excellent! Now you have what you need to do the spiral body. Let's keep doing this repeat over and over again until you've completed 26 rounds. Every time you start a new round, the repeat will shift over by 1 peg, and that's what creates the spiral. So while the repeat on round 7 begins on peg 1, the repeat on round 8 will begin on peg 2. If you'd like to see how other spiral hats are created using different stitches other than the left twist, see the description below for some other fantastic videos. On your own, you can complete these repeats until you finish round 26, or until you reach about 7 inches or so, including the brim. Let's meet later when it's time to work on the crown. We've now completed the spiral body, and it looks awesome so far. For round 27, we will do a quick crown decrease. It's quick because we'll remove half of the stitches in one single round, rather than reducing more gradually. Let's start by looking at pegs 1 and 2. We'll move the loop from peg 2 over to peg 1. Knit on peg 1. Let's knit over those 2 bottom loops. You've just successfully decreased by 1 stitch. Let's go to the next set of 2 pegs. Move the loop from peg 2 over to peg 1. Then knit on peg 1. You'll knit over both of those bottom loops. And by the way, this is technically an SSK, and that's because this decrease is a left-leaning decrease. Go ahead and decrease on your own. And when you get to peg 41, just knit it and don't do anything special to it. When you're done this round, which is round 27, you should have 21 stitches left on your loom. Here I've gone ahead. I'm almost done round 27. I'm doing my E-wrap knit stitch on peg 41. And now round 27 is finished. Round 28 is the final round of this spiral hat, and it's easy and fast since we only need to E-wrap knit on all of the pegs that have loops on them. So go ahead and knit on your own. I'll see you when you're done. Now it's time to do the gather bind off. Let's wrap our loom halfway and then we'll cut off the yarn. With your hook, you'll take the yarn up each peg that has a loop on it. So let's go up peg 1. We'll go up peg 3 and then pop it off. Let's go up peg 5 and we'll continue. Let's meet again once you've gone all the way around the loom. I've jumped ahead and I'm just going up peg 41 with my yarn. I'll go up peg 1 one more time. And now let's take this hat off of the loom. I'm pulling the yarn a bit since I don't want anything to get undone. And then I turn the hat inside out. Now let's pull the yarn tight. That way we cinch up the top of the hat. Let's cut the tail to make things easier to manage. We'll thread our yarn needle and then we'll sew around in a circle about 1 time. We'll tie a knot to keep the hat closed. I'll let you weave in the tail on your own so the video doesn't get too long. But let me show you what the crown looks like when it's turned right side out. I do find it a little bit holy, but I think it looks fine. I still prefer to decrease the crowns of my adult-sized hats, whether it be a quick decrease like this one or a more gradual one. Now it's time to tighten our E-wrap cast on, which will make our hat look very polished, and it's totally worth it. Let's find the knit column with the tail. Now look for the column to its right, which is the knit column at stitch 41. At the bottom of that knit column or V column, you'll see a strand that you're going to pull on in just a second. First, look at the strand to its right, and then to the strand at the bottom of the next V column, and the next 2 strands as well. Now let's pull on that first strand and we pull it a bit towards the left. Let's pull on the next one. The third strand we pull is at the bottom of that V column. And then we'll go to the next strand. And we'll continue like this all the way around the cast on edge. Let's work on our own and we'll meet once you've gone all the way around. So I'm almost finished tightening up the cast on. I just want to show you what it looks like towards the end. I'm pulling the strand next to the tail. Now for the final pull. We have tightened the cast on. I'll just cut the tail to make it more manageable. Let's thread our needle, turn the hat inside out, and we'll weave our tail up one of those columns. I'll let you continue this part on your own. Now our spiral hat is finished and it looks amazing. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, please subscribe and leave a comment. Talk to you soon.